The heavy oak door to conference room B swung open, and there she stood, my sister Brooke, clutching a leather portfolio like it was a lifeline. Her usually flawless blonde waves were pulled into a tight ponytail, roots showing, and her tailored blazer hung looser than I remembered. She scanned the room expectantly, ready to pitch to some faceless executive who might rescue her crumbling world. Then her eyes landed on me. "Emma?" Her voice cracked, barely above a whisper. Confusion, disbelief, and then a flash of raw panic crossed her face. I sat motionless at the head of the long mahogany table, the Portland skyline glittering through floor-to-ceiling windows behind me. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the documents spread before me, her loan application, thick with red flags. "Hello, Brooke," I said calmly, my tone even professional. "I understand you're here about the $3 million bridge loan for the Evergreen Heights project." She froze in the doorway, one designer heel hovering. The woman who had spent years painting me as the family disappointment now looked small, vulnerable. The power had shifted so completely that for a moment, neither of us breathed. This was the moment I had waited 3 long years for. But as her shoulders slumped, I felt no triumph, only the heavy weight of truth finally breaking through the illusions we had both built. I grew up in the quiet suburbs outside Portland, Oregon, where our parents taught us that success was measured in visible achievements. Dad, a civil engineer who designed bridges, valued stability and hard numbers. Mom, a high school counselor, believed in appearances and networking. They raised us to compete, to stand out. By their metrics, Brooke had always been the winner. At 36, Brooke Lawson was a lifestyle influencer with over 750,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok. Her brand centered on abundance mindset, luxury home flips in the Pacific Northwest, and motivational webinars charging $400 a seat. Her feed overflowed with sleek eco-modern homes, infinity pools overlooking the Columbia River, private jets to investor retreats, and captions like "Manifest your empire, small thinkers stay small." She dated tech entrepreneurs and venture capitalists, hosted sold-out events called Level Up Your Wealth, and positioned herself as the voice for women ready to break free from ordinary lives. I, on the other hand, lived in a 420-square-foot studio above a bustling Thai restaurant in a modest neighborhood. The aroma of lemongrass, coconut milk, and spicy basil drifted through my windows every evening around dinner rush. At 34, I worked as a senior loan officer at Riverside Community Credit Union, processing applications for local small businesses, teachers, and first-time homeowners. I rotated the same 4 Blazers, drove a reliable 8-year-old Subaru that Brooke once mocked as the official car of people who gave up, and furnished my place with thrift store finds, a pull-out sofa, a sturdy desk, and a few resilient houseplants that thrived despite my occasional neglect. Brooke visited my apartment only once, 2 years earlier. She had clicked across the scuffed hardwood in stilettos, wrinkling her nose at the compact kitchenette and the faint cooking smells. "Emma, this is basically a glorified dorm room," she had said, snapping photos not of us together but of the watermarks on the ceiling and the tiny balcony overlooking the alley. That night, her Instagram story featured a filtered image of a cramped space with the caption, "Some dream big and build empires. Others settle for comfort zones and instant noodles. Choose abundance. Boss babe never settle gratitude." She never tagged me, but family knew. Cousins texted me screenshots. Aunts whispered at gatherings. Family dinners became her stage. Brooke would arrive late in her latest electric SUV. Hair salon perfect. Nails gleaming. She'd present expensive gifts, then turn her spotlight on me. "Still approving small loans at that credit union?" She'd ask loudly. I could introduce you to some real opportunities, entry level. Of course. Everyone starts somewhere. Our parents nodded along. Dad respected her visible wins. Mom appreciated the polished image. I became the cautionary tale, smart but lacking vision. Hiding instead of hustling. The breaking point came at Mom's 62nd birthday dinner in our childhood home. Brooke swept in wearing a dress worth more than my annual rent, accompanied by a new boyfriend, a Silicon Forest investor named Derek. She dominated conversation with tales of her latest flip, a sustainable luxury townhome development marketed to young professionals. Closing 8-figure deals, she announced. When she spotted me at the end of the table, she sighed dramatically.
Oh,
Emma. Still driving that Subaru? The smell from that Thai place must drive you crazy every night. Derek shifted uncomfortably as Brooke continued, using me as her live example. Some people are afraid of risk. They stay in their tiny apartments, processing other people's dreams instead of chasing their own. It breaks my heart seeing wasted potential. Emma got straight A's in school. But look where drive gets you versus settling. The room fell silent. Mom stared at her plate. Dad cleared his throat. I had always deflected before, mumbling excuses and retreating to the kitchen. But that night, something inside me snapped. I set down my fork and met her eyes. You're right.
Brooke.
I am hiding. Her face lit with triumph.
See?
Admitting it is the first step. Not the way you think, I continued, voice steady. I'm hiding from people who judge worth by follower counts and square footage. From those who step on others to feel taller. From you. The silence was crushing. Brooke stammered. I'm just trying to motivate you.
No.
You're trying to feel superior. I left early, driving home through Portland's misty streets. Later, her story showed the family table without me. Some aren't ready for tough love. But family first. Never settle. Success mindset. Hundreds of likes poured in. I turned off my phone, brewed tea in my quiet studio, and smiled genuinely for the first time in years. Brooke had no idea I wasn't hiding from success. I was building it quietly, invisibly. 3 months after that dinner, cracks appeared in Brooke's empire. Rumors reached me through Aunt Linda's frantic calls. Brooke's flagship project, Evergreen Heights, 30 upscale eco-condos marketed as transformative living, was stalling. Construction delays, permit issues, contractor disputes. She had poured her savings, investor funds from her webinars, and leveraged loans into it. Now she needed $3 million fast to bridge the gap and avoid default. I watched from afar as her social media shifted from confident abundance to veiled desperation masked as motivation. When banks say no, true winners pivot. Testimony follows testing. Mindset matters. Derek vanished from her posts. Angry comments from investors flooded in, demanding updates on their money. Word spread in Portland's tight financial circles that Brooke was over-leveraged and burning bridges. Then a new opportunity emerged, Summit Ethical Lending, a boutique private bank focused on responsible, verified financing. Launched quietly with private capital, it targeted underserved but solid borrowers. The CEO remained low profile, but filings showed a woman with deep community banking experience. Brooke saw it as her salvation, fresh eyes. No prior knowledge of her reputation. She scheduled an appointment, arriving in her best power suit. I knew because I monitored from my executive office on the top floor of the sleek downtown building. My assistant buzzed. Your 3 o'clock is here, Brooke Lawson for the Evergreen Heights loan. I straightened my custom jacket, far from the old blazers, and reviewed her thick file, already marked with inconsistencies. Send her to conference room B. Inform her the CEO will join shortly. Through the monitor, I watched Brooke wait, tapping her heel, rehearsing her pitch, looking thinner and more anxious than ever. I let her sit 20 minutes, not cruelty, but necessity to steady my nerves. 3 years of double shifts at the credit union while secretly structuring holding companies, securing private investments, and building Summit had led here. I had lived frugally on ramen and careful budgeting, saving aggressively. Understanding ground-level lending taught me to spot genuine value others missed. Underestimated. I moved in shadows. The significant private capital came from strategic investments I made while everyone assumed I scraped by. Proper maintenance kept my Subaru running. Market insight spotted opportunities. Ready? MS. Lawson? My assistant asked. I nodded, gathered the file, and walked the marble hallway. My heels echoed confidently. At the door, I paused, recalling every family slight, every post using my life as a punchline. The anger had hardened into purpose. I opened the door. Brooke looked up hopefully. Then recognition struck. Shock rippled across her features, confusion to denial to fear. Emma? What how? I took the CEO's seat. You need $3 million. Let's discuss your application. She gripped the table edge. This can't be real. You work at that tiny credit union. You live above a Thai place. How is this possible? I still work 3 days a week at Riverside, I said evenly. It keeps me connected to real people. The Subaru still runs great. But this bank, Summit Ethical Lending, has $52 million in managed assets, backed by investors who trust ethical practices. I'm the founder, majority owner,
And CEO.
I slid my card across the table. Her hands trembled, picking it up. 3 years? While Mom was dealing with her health scare? While I posted about you? She trailed off, perhaps recalling her charity case sister narratives. While you built your brand, I built this, I replied.
Now.
About your loan. Brooke rallied, slipping into pitch mode. It's a short-term bridge. The project's valued at over $10 million completed. You'll double your return in 6 months. I've got commitments lined up. I flipped through the pages. You've pledged the same collateral to multiple lenders. That's fraud. You inflated rental projections by 50% and submitted falsified appraisals. The debt-to-income ratio is unsustainable. Your model depends on new investors to pay old ones, a classic Ponzi risk. Color drained from her face. Everyone in real estate stretches numbers. It's industry standard. Which is why I founded Summit, to lend based on verified reality, not hype or follower counts. I leaned back. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Little Emma finally on top. No, I said softly. I'm not enjoying my sister facing ruin. But I'm finished pretending to be smaller to protect your ego. Silence stretched. Through glass walls. Staff moved purposefully, many from Riverside. Promoted when I offered real growth. We're family, Brooke whispered. Doesn't that mean something? Like when you photograph my apartment to shame me. Like turning me into your poverty mindset case study. Like telling Derek I wasted potential. I was motivating you. You were humiliating me. I closed the file. Even as a stranger. I couldn't approve this. No legitimate collateral. Unsustainable leverage. Perception doesn't pay contractors. You planned this, she realized. Voice rising. The small job. The modest life. All to reach this moment. I plan to build something real that helps overlooked people. Your arrival here is coincidence or karma. I stood, signaling the end. Security waited discreetly outside for protocol. For what it's worth, Riverside offers solid counseling for rebuilding honestly. Their card. Brooke stood. Makeup smudging. You'll let me lose everything? Investors trusted me. Their savings. Retirement. You promised returns on lies. Just like you promised family that success meant crushing others and followers that wealth was pure mindset. not math. As security escorted her out, I returned to my office, the city humming below. 3 years of patience had paid off, but the victory tasted bittersweet. Brooke's empire of perception met hard reality. The denial notice went public within 48 hours, filed properly with bureaus. Portland Business Journal covered it discreetly at first. Influencer's luxury project stalls amid financing issues. By evening, local networks amplified it. Brooke's Instagram went private, but screenshots circulated, her abundance posts juxtaposed against foreclosure threats. Family texts flooded my phone. Aunt Linda, is it true? Mom, we need to talk. Dad, your sister is devastated. I silenced notifications and focused on legitimate applications, small business expansions, homebuyers with solid plans. Brooke tried everything, 20-plus calls, pleading emails, even sending Derek to appeal. She's desperate, he told me over coffee downtown. Contractors are filing liens. Investors threaten suits. Then she needs legal counsel, I replied. You could help. I could enable more lies. There's a difference. Derek admitted his own investment in the project. Nothing guaranteed when built on sand. The unraveling accelerated. 27 investors filed complaints alleging misrepresentation. The Evergreen Heights site headed to auction. Her waterfront condo faced multiple mortgages. Her luxury SUV was repossessed mid-live stream. Clips going viral. Brooke's follower count plummeted. Leaked DMs showed desperate pleas for emergency funds. Threats to critics. The Oregonian ran a feature, Rise and Fall of a Social Media Mogul, Brooke Lawson's cautionary tale. Journalists probed how influencer investments often masked pyramid risks. My denial became a catalyst for tighter scrutiny across banks. Family fractured. Dad called me cold. Mom went silent. Cousins took sides. Group chat dissolved after leaked screenshots. I felt each cut, but stayed steady. Mornings at Riverside. I helped a nurse refinance for her child's therapy. Afternoons at Summit. I greenlit a $4 million community solar project. Both worlds mattered. One evening, my neighbor Mrs. Sri Sai from the Thai restaurant knocked, holding a newspaper with Brooke's photo. This your sister? She came yelling last week, demanding to see you. I told her you're respectful. Pay rent on time. Quiet tenant for years. Mrs. Sri Sai patted my arm. My son got a loan here last year after rejections elsewhere. Opened second location. Thank you. That conversation crystallized my next step. I contacted the building owner and purchased the entire property. My first changes, lower Mrs. Sri Sai's rent. Upgrade the kitchen. Then I converted the vacant upper floor into the Lawson Financial Empowerment Center, named for our grandmother who worked multiple jobs, saved diligently, and taught practical money lessons without flash. The center offered free classes, budgeting, credit repair, spotting scams, sustainable investing. No hype. No promises of overnight riches, just honest tools. Instructors were vetted for real-world experience. Word spread organically through community networks. Classes filled with women recovering from influencer schemes, single parents, overlooked professionals. I taught Tuesday evenings in the space still faintly scented with lemongrass, standing before whiteboards, explaining compound interest and risk assessment to women who saw themselves in my old story. I felt purpose. This was success redefined, not square feet or likes, but quiet impact. The center's soft opening drew a steady crowd, women clutching flyers, hopeful yet cautious. As I arranged materials, security called. MS. Lawson, your sister is downstairs. Very insistent. Through the window, Brooke stood on the sidewalk, transformed. Designer clothes replaced by simple jeans and an old jacket. Hair limp. Posture defeated. Let her up, I said. She climbed slowly, pausing midway. Entering the classroom, she scanned the workbooks, donated laptops, simple furnishings. So, this is your victory lap. The Lawson Center, rubbing it in. It's named for Grandma Lawson, I corrected. The one who saved every penny over decades. Remember her real story? Brooke flinched. Don't lecture me. I used her in seminars, house cleaner to homeowner. Except you omitted the 30 years of discipline. Sit if you'd like. She remained standing, clutching her bag. Stop this center. People will connect it to me, to my mistakes. Everything isn't about you.
Brooke.
These women need real education. How to avoid predators. Build steadily. Not chase shortcuts. You're profiting off my failure. Your failure involved defrauding people, teachers' retirement, single moms' grocery money, kids' college funds. This is about their recovery. She sank into a chair. Fight draining. I've lost it all. Lawyers took the rest. I'm crashing on Aunt Linda's couch. The woman with 5 properties can't afford even your old studio. That studio is available, I said evenly. 420 square feet. Lemongrass scent every evening. No shame in it, it was home while I planned something lasting. You'd enjoy watching me there. I'd value you learning there's dignity in honest arts. It could be your beginning too. Beginning of what? I'm 37. Bankrupt. Toxic in the industry. I handed her a flyer. Part-time instructor position. Experience with success and failure required. Understand real cost of bad choices. You know complex instruments. Just misuse them. Teach women to spot scams like the version of you that existed. You'd report to the director, Mrs. Chen, who rebuilt after foreclosure. Strict ethics. Curriculum approval. Deviation means immediate dismissal. Her hands shook holding the paper. Why offer this? Grandma believed in second chances. You're still my sister, though trust must be earned. Rock bottom can be foundation if built on truth. Voices rose from below. Early arrivals. Brooke stood abruptly. I need time. Position stays open for the right person. But applicants complete the full curriculum first. She left, passing incoming students. Halfway through my welcome presentation, no wealth secrets. Just support and facts. I spotted Mom in the back row. Coat from years ago. Sitting quietly. Our eyes met. She stayed. 6 months later. Summit's assets reached $81 million. Default rate under 1.8%. Press dubbed us Portland's ethical alternative. I still drove the Subaru to the center Tuesdays, teaching index funds, diversification, and retirement realities. The Thai restaurant bustled below. Mrs. Srisai waved as always. The classroom hummed with engaged women. Mom attended every session now. Notebook full. At the instructor desk, preparing scam awareness materials with care, sat Brooke. She had moved into my former studio, taken all classes, submitted plans for approval, and now taught Tuesdays on recognizing manipulation. Her sessions were brutally honest about past errors, warning signs, and recovery steps. Attendance stayed high. Evening, I greeted. Tonight, index versus individual stocks. First, review compound interest homework. For 90 minutes, we dissected practical concepts, no viral quotes.
Just tools that built quietly.
During break, Mom approached. Grandma would love this, teaching women to fish, not handing fish. Brooke joined with tea. Awkward but functional. The 3 of us stood together. Solid examples today, she said quietly. Scam session last week was strong, emotional tactics part especially. You had life as teacher, I replied. We resumed roles. Mom took notes on 401k she wished she'd known decades ago. After class, I locked up, gazing at city lights. Summit stood downtown. Small businesses thrived on approved loans. Here, above lemongrass, women built real futures. My phone buzzed. Summit update. 1,100 loans approved. Average $38,000. Lives changed. I smiled, turned off lights, and headed home. Success wasn't big or small thinking. It was clear,
Steady.
honest building, and never letting others define your worth by appearances. The center continued quietly impacting lives. Brooke improved daily, earning trust slowly. Family wounds lingered, but healing began in small, truthful steps. What would you choose when perception crashes into reality? Revenge? Redemption? Or something in between? The answer lingers long after the lights dim.